above all, what I've learned is that ministry to congregations is a team sport, and we lose ourselves if we lose sight of that. On the one hand, I think that has specific application to the congregations we're called to lead. I think we're called to go in with an attitude of cautious respect when we arrive in a congregation, to realize that there'll be people there who will know some things we don't know, and are we willing to learn from them? I think we're called to be a pastor above all, to be a prophet some of the time, and to be the resident expert as hopefully as infrequently as possible. Sometimes we will need to pull out our expertise, but hopefully that isn't how we lead all of the time, or even most of the time. I also, one rule that I came up with, knowing that there are some very difficult people in every congregation. One of the rules I came to, and I didn't make this up myself, I learned it from someone else, I have no idea who that was, but the classic rule of being able to assume that when something goes wrong, to ascribe it to stupidity rather than to malice, until proven otherwise. And most of the time it won't be proven otherwise. Occasionally it is. But if we assume that everyone is our enemy, then it's impossible to be aware of the people who actually are our enemy, and of course to pray for them always. Ministry can be very lonely, which is why it's so important in terms of the here and now, to recognize it's a team sport and to see ourselves as building up the faithful, Ephesians 4. I've always loved the final words of the new creed, and also the opening words, we are not alone, we live in God's world. But I think that that's too narrow. I think it's we are not alone, we live in God's world, and God has chosen to surround us with friends in every direction. Friends who span not only space, but also time. And to the extent I, as a leader, can cultivate that friendship and that awareness of those friends who are out there for me, I know that my journey as a leader will be a little less lonely. And that's all I got.